Hi, and welcome to Meditation Monday. And hello to all the occupiers of White City Place. Thank you for being here and tuning in to watch these videos. So, yeah, I hope you're all doing well as things start to open up. And yeah, let's get into our meditation. Um, this is the one week I'm not in the hub, but I'll be back in the hub again next week. So I hope that you'll join me live in person there at 12:30 on Monday. So, all right. So just sitting nice and comfortably, closing your eyes, and allowing yourself just to sink into yourself, allowing a sense of arrival, allowing a sense of softening, allowing a sense of letting go. But also allowing a sense of accepting how you are right now. So often we will sit down and be a buzz of thoughts and then get annoyed with ourselves for having such a busy mind. Be okay with that. This is normal. We all have busy minds. Our brains are designed to think. So just allow that. Allow that to happen because the longer you sit here, that busy mind will start to slowly slow down. It just takes some time and also some letting go. So just allowing whatever comes up and knowing it's completely normal. I like to call this my shuffle time. So in other words, it's a time for everything to settle. Notice how you're sitting. Notice the weight in your pelvis grounding you to your seat. Let gravity support you. And then see what happens if you take your focus to the very base of your spine and imagine that you are rooting into the floor. So you kind of just a little bit of pressure as if you're kind of pressing your bottom into the floorboard and see if you can kind of like rise up out of that. So you kind of get this longer spine just for a moment and then sink into it. Now notice your breath as it comes in to your belly, expanding that space and releasing. That's another area that we quite often tense up. So we're so used to holding our stomachs in. Really, just for this meditation alone, just let that go. Just be a Buddha belly. Allow your belly to expand with the in breath. Don't hold on to it. What you're doing here is you're clearing space in the lungs to take more breath in. And that's really what we're trying to do. But it can be relaxed. It doesn't mean to say that you have to take loads of oxygen in. It just means that your lungs need to have the freedom to expand. And when we sit with our holding our stomachs in, we're contracting that space and we're not allowing our diaphragm to open up and allow this space for the lungs. So now I don't know whether you can hear it, but there's a plane going overhead at my end. So you might hear that through my laptop, I'm not sure. But using sounds is a really great experience and tool for us to challenge ourselves with. So, noticing sounds, but not getting too attached to them. Because, like thoughts, sounds can come and go. We don't need to hold on to their stories. All right, so just like we did last week, we're going to see if we can just sink back into this normal way of breathing. So, the minute we think about the breath, we do try and control it. So, see if you can just be a witness to yourself breathing normally. It's a little bit like being the observer, like a third party to yourself. So, imagine yourself sort of stepping outside of yourself and looking in. It's kind of, or another expression I use is sliding in the back door and just having a sneaky peek of how you're normally breathing. No control, just letting that go. Now, see if you can hold the focus on your breath for 10 breaths in a row. You might get distracted, and if you do, don't worry about it. Just remember to come back and then just start at number one again. So try and get up to 10. Eckhart Tolle says that, meditation is one full breath in and one full breath out. If you can stay with that one breath, just that 1 or 2 seconds is meditation. So if you can link all of those one breaths together like a chain, then you can expand your meditation time. So just seeing how many in a row you can do. All right, I'll stop talking now and I'll give you a couple of minutes to experiment with that. And when you get to 10, just start again. So on you go. Remember, you're trying not to breathe in any certain way, just normal. Okay, that was just 2 minutes. So let that go and just have a little moment of reflection. Notice now that you've let it go, whether you might be breathing a little bit normally again. I think it's very difficult to do these exercises without changing the breath, without breathing a certain way, without being very conscious of how to breathe. So just notice if it's different now that you're not counting those breaths. Just observe. Certain things you can notice is that you might be taking less breath. It might be more shallow. Yeah, okay, so we will come back to that one later to see how it changes as we go through the session. Remember, all this time, your brain is just slowly making a little bit more space between those thoughts. Those thoughts will never disappear, but the aim is to just make those spaces between them a little bit longer, a bit bigger. All right, so we're going to do the conscious breath exercise that I do every week to really try and slow down the mind. I'm going to count to 3, let go of all of your breath. But before that, I'll just let you know we're going to be doing 6, 2, and 8. And that means we're going to breathe in for 6 seconds, hold it for 2, and then out for 8 seconds. And I will count with you so you don't need to worry about the time. In between each one, we're going to do a normal breath in and a normal breath out. And we're going to repeat that 5 times and then have a rest from it. So observe, observe, observe. Step back from yourself. Don't judge. Just notice what happens. All right, so when I count to 3, let go of all of your breath. Breathing in, 2, 3, let it go. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hold it, 2, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Normal breath in and out. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hold it, 2, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Normal breath in and out. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hold it, 2, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Normal breath in, normal breath out. 2 more. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it, 2, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Normal breath in and out. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hold it, 2, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let it go. Normal breathing now. Just sink back, observe how it feels when you can just let go. How nice that is. Just have no control because your body knows what to do. You don't need to control it all the time, especially right now. You can just let it go. When we let the body go, the mind quickly follows as well. So just noticing how all of that feels. Okay, so taking our awareness to both of our knees. So notice inside your knee, just get an idea of whether that feels soft, whether you're holding on to any ligaments, any tendons. Is there anywhere you can let go? Can you soften anywhere here? And then moving down your shins into your calf muscles, both of those calves together, that heavy muscle, just let it just hang there. Whether you feel it against your other leg or against the seat or against the floor or mid in space, um, just really notice that calf. Just take your mind's eye inside that calf. It's quite a big muscle, so again, letting go here. And then falling down into the ankles. If your legs are crossed in any way, this is an interesting place to be because you are crossing the hemispheres of your brain as well. Your right foot on your left side is a different focus from your left foot on your right side. So if you can do them both at the same time and feel both feet in both the opposite hemispheres, it's really good for your brain. Keeps all those neurotransmitters active. It's good for focus, but also just not focusing too hard, just softening here. It's getting an idea of where those feet are. Your legs don't have to be crossed, by the way. This is just if they are. Take your attention to your big toes on both feet. See if you can feel them without moving them. Just the toe, the big toe, separate from the other toes. Then see if you can get your attention onto the tops of both feet. So that's where that smooth skin stretches from the bottom of the toes up to the ankle. So just getting an idea of that smoothness. And then again back in the ankles, letting it go again. And then spotlighting from the ankles back to the knees and then into the hip sockets. Staying in the hip sockets for a moment or two. You might want to try the right one and then the left, or the left and the right, or both together. Just really seeing if you can soften more, especially as you're supported now in a seated position. There is no need to hold on to any muscles. Allow gravity to hold them, support you. Yeah. And then coming into your sacrum, so the bottom of your spine, that flat piece of bone. Just traveling up the spine, vertebra by vertebra. That might subconsciously make you sit up straighter. If it does, so be it. That's nice. But you can always relax back into it again when you get to the top. So traveling up from the neck when you get there, going over the back of the scalp and up to the crown of your head, and just pausing at the crown, just getting a sense of that space, what it feels like if somebody had their hand on there. And then I want you to take your awareness over the top of your head, down in between your eyebrows. See if you can soften there. Down the nose. As you pass the eyes, let them sink into the sockets. The eyelids softening, the nostrils softening. Down to the mouth, maybe noticing where the lips meet. And then down over the chin. When you get to the chin, just check that your jaw is heavy. Let it go. Just let that just fall open. That's a big jawline from the bottom of your ears down to the chin. Letting it drop, let your tongue just sit in the lower palate. We're going to make our way down, but we're going to do it in sections just like we did last week. We're going to start with the nose. It's just breathing in and just notice the air coming into your nose, just the nose alone. You're breathing all the way into your belly, but just notice the nose. Just a few breaths here. You might be aware of the air being a bit cooler. You might be aware of the filters, little hairs that filter the air, or maybe the nostrils moving, whatever comes up for you. Now move that same awareness to your throat. You might slightly constrict your throat, whether it's subconscious or not, just get more of a sense. And sometimes it can sound a bit like the sea, when you hold a shell to your ear, sound that it makes in your throat, a bit of constriction. And now bring that same awareness to your chest. You might feel the ribs expanding slightly. You might be aware of the collarbones moving slightly. And then gently taking that awareness down into the belly. But on the way down into your belly, just ironing out any kinks, any muscles you might be holding on to. Just let all of that go. And allow the belly to expand. If you're sitting a little bit hunched over, you might want to kind of just straighten up or just lean back a tiny bit so that you're creating space for your belly to naturally expand with the inhale. And now join all of those four sections together: the nose, the throat, the chest, and the belly, all as one unit, breathing together. You might feel the belly expand more. Now, let that go, because I don't want you to have to be breathing in a certain way, but just let that go for a moment. And then coming back to your normal breath again, wanting to really focus on breathing normally this week. So back to your normal breath and just see how long you can stay here with that normal breath. And a nice added tool would be that every time you breathe in, you just focus on that and you let the out breath go. So you can just keep the focus on every inhale. Let it go on the out. Focus on the inhale again. That might be a nice way to keep with the breath. So just trying that. And again, I'll give you a couple of minutes to to experiment with that. So you could just gently say to yourself, inhale, forget everything as you breathe out, and then back again, inhale. So all you have to do is stay with the inhale. Chances are you will stay with the exhale as well, but it takes a bit of pressure off the whole breath. And then let that go. There we go. So there's no need to focus on anything at all. Just keeping in this really easy space. I want you to take your eyes behind your eyelids, sorry, looking behind your eyelids. So take your awareness behind your eyelids. And depending on the light in your room, see what color comes up. And just in the same way as you were trying to keep your focus on the breath for a while or a few breaths, see if you can keep your focus on this color that shows up behind your eyes. There's a couple of things you could do. You can give it a name, like color, if you like, or if it's a nice pinkish color, it might just be pink, so that you can recall it. You associate the word with this color that you're looking at now, whatever shade it is. And also going along for the ride. So when it changes its shade, you don't try and hang on to the original color, you just go with it. If any thoughts come in, that is also absolutely fine and normal. Remember, it's the space between them we're trying to expand, not trying to get rid of the thoughts, just the space between. So you can keep coming back. Now, while you're doing this and trying to hold on to the color, have a little self-conscious scan of your body, not self-conscious, subconscious scan of your body. And just check those points again, the joints, the knees. the ankles, the hips. Soften there and then come back behind your eyelids so that you feel that all your joints are just starting to kind of melt into the rest of the body, including this space behind the eyelids. So just one breathing cell, just softening, just breathing in the oxygen it needs, not too much, not too little. Keeping the space behind the eyelids, the color. And what I want to do now is bring in a mantra for you. So the idea is that you keep in this spatial awareness behind the eyelids. Keep softening the body, keep coming back to the eyelids, keeping that space. But the mantra is so hum. So you have two words, and you can choose whether to say them both together, or what might be nice is every inhale it can be so, every exhale hum. So hum. And just saying it over slowly or as quickly as you like, and you don't have to do it every breath. You can do it every few breaths if you like. It might be nice to try it with every breath in and every breath out for the first few goes. And then just see if it kind of subconsciously rolls over and you can keep saying it. What it means is, I am. But really, it's a bit deeper than the ego. It's really about being part of this bigger picture, this consciousness that supports the planet, this infinitive space that creates all the planets, this energy that we are all part of. So I am part of everything, a very small part, but I am also a part of it, all connected to this universal spaciousness, energy, consciousness. So hum. So hum. I'm going to end the session there and see how long you can stay with that mantra. It's nice to try and give it a good 10 minutes if you can. allow that time and giving yourself to it. So surrendering to this idea of just letting go into this universal energy, this consciousness, just by gently repeating so, um, just feeling the resonance of that word, that hum. As slowly as you like, as many times as you need. Thank you for being here. I'm going to end it now, but just stay with it as long as it feels good for you. And I will see you back in the hub again next week. Please hold that space.